We're still looking at relationship matters, especially for those who are preparing to get married. There are certain things that you need to put on the table and clarify before you say I do, before you sign out those dotted lines. It's very important. It's not good news when you hear about people getting married and after some weeks or some months or just some few years, they say they are tired. Adequate planning will prepare you for these things. Challenges are part of life. But if you already are aware of these things, like Jesus told disciples, say, I'm telling you these things because these things will come later. But when they come, you will not be caught by surprise. You'll be better prepared for it. Like he said, in the world you have tribulation. He said there'll be persecution. So when some people come against you, then you know, well, you are better prepared for it. You know how to manage it. You know how to handle them. So there are certain 7 things which I will just want to present to you for you to put on the menu table during your courtship and during your counseling session. If your counselor don't mention them, bring them up and let them engage you more on that. One of them is money. In Yoruba they say owó ló ń ba ojú ọ̀rẹ́ jẹ́. That is, money separates the best of friends. When their attitude towards money, their understanding of money and the role money should play in their relationship is not well understood. So financial matter in the home should be well. Either the husband makes more money than the woman or the woman makes more money than the husband. Well, the point is the money available in the home, how should it be spent? You say, I'm making my own money, I spend it the way I like and do things like that. Then there should not be, like Bible says, there should not be schism in the body. There should not be imbalance in the body. The husband cannot say because he's making so much money, this is how much I will make available in the home, the remaining I spend the way I like. There will be problem, there like to be problem in the home. You're making about 5 million a month, you say, okay, I will only release 1 million, the remaining 4 million I spend as I like. There will be a problem at home. So that means out of that you can choose to be traveling. We say, I want to go for, I want to give myself a treat. Where do you live? And you're a family, for crying out loud. So income transparency is important. Spending habits are important. The saving culture and the debt disclosure. If you owe money or you plan to get loan or those kind of things you need to discuss with your spouse. Not that somebody be saying, well, your husband or your wife is owing me or your spouse is owing me this much. You say, what? Or the money I use for this money, I borrowed it, and so. No, if you are in debt to anybody, let me know. Your problem is my problem. Your problem is my problem. My problem is your problem. That's the way it's supposed to be. So money problem is one of the 2 major problems that generally affect a home. The other one is intimacy. Then we'll talk about that one later. The number 2 point you should discuss very well is communication style. Talking and communicating are not exactly the same thing. So if you believe otherwise, please let me know in your comment. I repeat, talking and communication are not the same thing. Somebody can talk for 1 hour without talking about the core of the matter. But the communication is always placing the cards on the table, discussing issues that matter, issues that add values to your life, to your home, to your relationship. What about if you say you are talking, at least I've been with you for the past one, you are talking about politics, things that don't really concern you, talking about the scenery of Lagos, the topography of Lagos, or you just talking about different things that happen in your workplace. Unless that thing you're talking about is something that is one way or the other will have effect on our home, on our relationship. So communication style is very important. Do you shut down during conflict? Or do you try to express yourself when the opportunity presents itself, or you just clam up? Or do you raise your voice? whenever there is conflict, there is disagreement. Some people, they say that's the way that's the way my voice, that's my nature. But so there was someone like that in our community that used to say, that's my, I told her, I said, well, now that you are talking, you can see that you are talking in a conversational tone. But when you're excited, you raise your voice, that somebody in the next room will be hearing what you're saying. Or do you avoid difficult conversations? So what are difficult conversations? Conversations that touch you, that are to cause transformational change in your relationship. It's good for you to know this before marriage, before you sign that dotted line, before you say I do. Then number 3 is family boundaries. Then that means your in-laws, which means parents-in-law, cousin-in-law, uncle-in-law. Now, who has the decision-making authority in the home? Is it your in-laws or you? And where will you live? Is important, especially if 2 of you are not living in the same part of town. I say, well, I don't want to live in that part. Maybe Surulere, Lekki, Victoria Island, Abule, Egba, like we have in Lagos. So when I don't like that, then it's something you need to discuss and settle before you sign that dotted line. I do. So many marriages have a lot of time because boundaries were not well discussed. The 4th one is children. Children. So, how many children are you believing God for? Or do you both want children like one wrestler, don't let me mention his name now, had been cutting this lady, another wrestler, and that wrestler happened to be a twin, the lady. So she agreed with the man to some extent. They even did proposal in the ring. The man proposed to her in the ring. Until later, when her twin sister got married and had babies, then she said, well, I can't continue. Me too, I want to have a baby. So that relationship had to be dissolved. And she now got married to another person. She now has her own baby. So issue of children, how many children do you want to have? Do you want to have children? And when are we starting children? Is it immediately we got married or after a year? Some people say after a year when we have understood one another very well. Then parenting styles, you discuss this, you research it, you discuss it. Number 5 is career goals. Yes, you have to determine and discuss that. Not that after you get married, you get married to me not to stall my growth and development, not to stall my career, not to say, well, that one you have read this, that one you don't. No. Women go to become governors, ministers, as like we have in Nigeria. We have Dr. Okonjo Iweala, who is now the Director General in the World Trade Organization. Her husband is a medical doctor in the US. It's because her husband gave her the free hand to pursue her growth and development, her career to any level she desired. She traveled all over the world. The husband is not stressed. Their children are doing fine. That's planning, that's discussion, that's understanding. So who relocates if needed? When time say, will both partners work? Or what is the nature of work so that someone will have time to be able to take care of the children? Or 2 of you, if you have every career, man and woman, who take care of the children? Nanny, in some places, as old as when the children are even 1 year plus, they put them in boarding house, boarding system. They only have time with them on holidays. So all these things, so you have to maintain balance between addiction and family setup. Now, intimacy expectation, affection style, emotional closeness, physical expectation, this has to be discussed respectfully, avoid assumption. I just saw one story on YouTube today. This young couple got married in September 2025. Up till this February, there had been no mutual intimacy because the lady said she had told the husband, wait now, wait, later. The other one say, when now? Say later on that one got fed up. I had to report to their elders in their church and the family. So I don't know what's wrong. Now she now say, I don't love him again. I don't want any sexual intimacy. The husband said, when she said, okay, let's have some intimacy, she'll just say, do you want to rape me? Oh yeah, do what you want to. She opened herself up, said, no, I'm not that kind of man. So all these things have to be discussed so that it doesn't become an issue when tomorrow comes. Finally, number 7, your spiritual and moral values. This also have to be placed on the table. Your shared values on long-term and short-term basis. Then they have to align to avoid problems tomorrow. So which of these 7 resonate with you very well? Please share with me in your comment in Sinuga Reflections. Give thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not subscribed. Remember, marriage is sweet. Marriage is good. But it's not to be taken for granted. It's not something. That's why the minister will say this is not to be entered into trivially. You have to give it appreciable thought, appreciable consideration. Okay. Thank you very much for reflecting with me, and God bless you.